So the midpoint here. Okay, the midpoint of a line segment. First of all, let's just remember, what do we mean by line segment? The line segment is a line that has a starting point and ending point. It doesn't go forever to both directions. So the main objective that we're gonna revise together today is that you will be able, or you will remember how to find the midpoint of any given line segment. So here, if you look at this slide here, this diagram shows a line segment. The line segment that I'm talking about is AB, this blue line. And you have the x-axis and the y-axis. A and B are the ending points of the line segment. And as you see, there is capital M in the middle. That M is the midpoint that we're talking about, which is the halfway between B and A, the points A and B. The middle of them is midpoint. So this is what are we going to find. We're going to see how can we find the coordinates or the pairs, the XY coordinates of point M. So now this is an example for two lines. There's line AB and line CD. We're gonna learn if you can find the midpoint of them. Point A, if you wanna see the coordinates of point A, it's -3 with 2. And point B is 1 with 2. So the midpoint, sometimes we can find the midpoint directly from the graph. There is someone is raising his hand. Oh, it's lowered. Okay, so again, the midpoint here, it's the halfway. So if you look between A and B, how many spaces do we have? Or how many squares do we have? So if you count them, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the half of 4 is 2. So the midpoint is 2 steps away from B and 2 steps away from A. So this is the midpoint directly from the graph. Its coordinate is -1, as you see, on the x-axis, and 2 on the y-axis. Now, if you look at the other line, the red line, CD, to find the midpoint of CD, you can count the spaces between C and D. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces between them. And half of 5 is 2.5. So you can just count, this is 1, 2, and half here. And it's the same if you count it from point D. This is 1, 2, and half here. It's the same thing. If you want to find the coordinates of that point, you look at the x-axis first, it's below 3, and to the y-axis, that point here, if you go to the y-axis, it's between -1 and -2, in the middle between them, which is -1.5. So these are the pairs of the y-axis, the midpoint. So, how to find the midpoint of a line segment when you have the ending point of that line segment, but you don't have its graph? Sometimes they tell you, what is the midpoint of point A, which is 1, 2, and point B, which is, let's say, 1, 6. No need to draw your graph and draw the axis, x-axis and y-axis, and put the points and match the line and then count to find the space. If you remember, we used to have a rule to find the midpoint of any 2 points. You can find the midpoint of the line segment by finding the mean or the average of the x coordinates together and the y coordinates together of each point. Diamond, the midpoint, it's the middle between two things, halfway between two things. The 2 points have x, y, and the other one has x and y. To differentiate between them, we call the first point x1, y1, and the other point x2, y2. It doesn't matter which one having x1, y1, x2, y2, because in the end you're finding their average. You're adding them, average, you add the values and divide by how many numbers you have. So if you have 2 points, point 1 and point 2, okay, you add the axis of the coordinates of x. So you add the numbers of x1 and x2, then divide by 2. The value that you get is the x coordinate of the midpoint. Same thing for y. You add y1 and y2, then you divide by 2. This is an example. If you want to use the formula or the rule to find the midpoint of a line segment, here you have 2 points. Point A with the coordinates 2, 8. 2 is x1, 8 is y1. And the other point B is 6, 12. 6 is x2, 12 is y2. The midpoint of the 2 points AB or BA, it doesn't matter the ordering of them, because again, we are finding average. So you add the x's, x1 and x2, the first number of each point. 2 plus 6, which is 8, divided by 2, 4. And if you add the y's, 8 plus 12 is 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So this is the red point in the end. No need to show all the steps in details like that. You can just write the rule, or you can write the second step, the last step, but the midpoints pairs should be written, of course. This is another example. You have here this line with 2 points, -3, 5, 8, -1. You can count the spaces and then find the half of the spaces that you found, or you can use the rule directly. So if you want to use the rule, you can just use the x's first. So the x number here is -3 and here is 8. So we need to find their sum. 8 with -3, 2 numbers with different signs, so you subtract them. Be careful, you have to remember the rules for adding integers. So you add -3 plus 8, which is 5, divided by 2 is 2.5. The other point, 5 with -1. If you add them, 5 and -1, different signs, so you will subtract them again, which is 4 divided by 2 is 2. So it's so easy to find the midpoint by using the formula. So in the end, you have 2 ways to find the midpoint of any line segment. You can use the graph directly from the graph, count the spaces and find the middle, or you can use the average or the formula by using x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2, okay? We prefer using the formula when you don't have the graph. You can deal with the pairs easily. It shows the answers here. Type. Here, look at this question. It says A is the point 2, 4, and B is the point 6, 0. Part A, mark A and B on the coordinate grid and draw the line segment. Okay, the answers are shown. So, but let's just discuss it together. Part A is so easy. If you want to graph the points, this is how we graph it. This is point A. You draw x-axis and y-axis. You plot the point 2, 4 for A. This is 2, 4. This is point A. And for point B, it's 6, 0. Don't طبعا في so many students get mixed up when it's 60 or 06. When we say 60, 6 is the x-axis, so it's gonna be on the x-axis. But if our point is 06, it's gonna be here, 0, and you go upper for 6 here. It's gonna be somewhere here. Okay, so part A, just mark them on a coordinate grid. This is how we write the answer of it. In part B, find the coordinates of the midpoint. You can find them from the graph. If you see the question didn't mention, use the graph. The question here didn't mention if they want you to use the graph or to use the rule. So you can directly get it from the graph, and you can get this from the average formula. So if you use the formula, you can just add the x's. x1 is 2, x2 is 6. So x1 plus x2, 6 plus 2 is 8, divided by 2, 4. And if you use the y-axis, y1 is 4, y2 is 0, 4 plus 0 is 4 over 2, 2. So the midpoint for x is 4 and for y is 2. If you want to look at that from the graph, this is it, 4, 2. And it's easily, you can figure it out easily from the graph. So let's check if we have examples that you can. Okay, here part B is solved. Whatever, yalla, I need someone to try solving part A here. Part A, you have here 3 points. We have A is the point 80, B is 06, C is 10, 12. We need to find the midpoint of the line that matches A with B and that matches B with C, A with C and B with C. So let's start. Yes, Jana Nashwan.
Okay, so A, B.
Yeah.
We have A, which is 0, 8, and B, which is sorry, yeah, A. Sorry,
Is 80.
A is 8,
Yes.
and B is 12.
No, B is 06.
Oh, sorry, I read C. Sorry.
Oh.
Okay, so we're gonna put 8 plus 0. And 0 plus 6.
Yes.
8 plus 0 is 8, and then divided by 2, which is 4.
Excellent.
And 6 plus 0 is 6, and divided by 2 is 3.
Excellent. So the pairs of the midpoint will be?
4, 3.
4, 3. Excellent, Jana. Thank you. So this is again, point A has the pairs of 8, 0, and B is 0, 6. X1 is 8, X2 is 0. Add them together. 8 over 2 is 4. Same thing for the y's. Y1 is 0, Y2 is 6. So 0 plus 6 is 6, divided by 2 is 3. So you have to write the pairs of the midpoint. يعني that point in the end, if you don't write it, you will lose a mark. لأن هنا you just show the steps of finding the midpoint, but you didn't tell me what is the midpoint in the end. So you have to write in the end that M, or the midpoint of AB, is 4 and 3. Okay, part B is shown already. This is it. It's A is 8, 0. They need the midpoint of A and C. So we just need to use point A and point C. We add the axis of x, 8 plus 10, 18, divided by 2, 9, 0 plus 12, 12 divided by 2, 6. So the midpoint is 9 and 6. Okay, I need someone to do part C. We need the midpoint of B and C. Muhammad Haddad.
Yeah, teacher, I forgot my hand.
Raised. طيب, do you want to answer?
Okay.
Yeah.
Part C?
Yes.
Okay.
We need to
10
find the midpoint of B and C.
of B and C. Okay. Okay, so we will add 0 and 10 because X is together.
Yes,
And
excellent.
6 and 12 because Y is together. So
Excellent.
0 plus 10 equals 10. Divided by 2 is 5.
Yes.
And the Y is 6 plus 12 is 18. Divided by 2 is 9. So the midpoint is 5 and 9.
Excellent, Muhammad. Thank you so much. So this is it. The midpoint of B and C is 5, 9 by adding the axis of X, 0 plus 10, 10 divided by 2, 5, and 6 plus 12, 20 divided by 2 is, 6 plus 12 is 18 divided by 2 is 9. So this is the midpoint of BC. Okay, let's check this example. We need to find the coordinates of the midpoint for each side of this triangle. So as you see here, there's a triangle with 3 vertices, A, D, E, and F. They want the midpoint of each side. Type Lian Al-Kumi, choose a side to find its Lian. I'm trying to unmute you.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Liam. So here, yeah, choose a
Do you want me
side.
to start DE?
Whatever. Okay, DE.
Yeah. -3, the coordinates of E is -3 and 10.
Excellent.
And the coordinates of D is 120.
Okay.
So -3 plus 1. Different sides we will subtract, so it's -2.
Yes, excellent.
-2 over 2 is -1.
Yes.
Then 10.
So Lean is done with the X axis of the midpoint. -3 with 1. She's using E and D. -3 plus 1, different signs. So it's -2 divided by 2 is -1. Now the Y axis.
10 plus 20 is 30. 30 over 2 is 15. So it's -1 and 15.
Excellent. So the midpoint of ED, if you want to find it by using the graph, it's here. Obviously here, but to make sure, sometimes when we have large scales like 10, 20, or 50, 100, 150, we prefer using the rule for the average. But anyway, if you use it, you get -1 with 15. Here is it between 10 and 20. Okay, thank you so much, Leon. Someone else, we're done with one side. We still have 2 more sides. Yes, Sarah Razem. Hello, Sarah. Okay, she went. طيب, there's Faisal Qtashat.
Good morning, teacher.
Morning. So, Faisal.
Teacher, سأحل part E.
Part. هلا, one of the girls already done with this side. We found the midpoint of this side. Let's find another side. Which side? You have DF and EF.
EF.
Let's find the sides of DF. Okay. Oh, the answer is wrong. Yeah. This is point D, as you see. It's
1,
20. And point F?
5. 4.
4 with?
-30.
Yeah. How to find the midpoint of D and F together?
We add x1 plus x2 equal 5. Then y1 plus y2.
Yeah.
-10.
Yes, excellent. So 1 plus 4, 5. And 20 plus negative 30 is negative 10. Is that the midpoint?
No, we have to divide it by 2.
Yes,
Equal
the average.
2.5. 2.5.
Half of 5 is 2.5, 2.5. And half of negative 10?
شو اسمه? Negative 5.
Negative 5. Excellent. So the midpoint of DF is 2.5 and negative 5. Thank you so much, Faisal.
You're welcome.
Type the last point. Oops. Type the last side. Sorry, the last side. We're done with ED and we're done with DF. Now we have EF. So who's gonna find the EF pairs? There's Tala Al-Qaq. Yes, Tala.
We have to find the midpoint, so x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2.
Yeah.
So it's negative 3 plus 4.
Since we're talking about E and F, so we're just going to use point E and point F. So negative 3 with 4.
Plus 4 over 2, which is 1 over 2.
Yes, negative 3 plus 4, different signs, so we subtract them, we get 1. 1 over 2 is already half, 1 over 2.
Yes, it's 0.5. And then 10 plus negative 30 over 2, it's negative 20 over 2 after that.
Excellent. Which is?
So it's negative 10. So it's 0.5 and negative 10, right?
Yes, excellent. Yes, thank you, Tala. So negative 3 plus 4 is 1 divided by 2 is half, and 10 with negative 30, again, different signs, which is negative 20. Negative 20 divided by 2 is negative 10. So this is the midpoint of EF. That is everything about our topic today. Do you have any question about the lesson or about anything else? Lean, do you want to ask anything?
No, I forgot to lower my hand.
Okay, Sarah, is there anything? And Sarah's طيب, Muhammad, do you have something to ask about?
The booklet, is it necessary to do it if we because if we can't get it?
No, هلا it's just more practicing for you. أنا ما رح أحاسبك عليها بس يعني it's just to هيك refresh your minds. هي نفس التوبكس اللي إحنا عم ناخذهم online بس you just can just practice on them. It's for you يعني. Okay. Okay, Sarah. Yes, Sarah.
قاعد بحكي مع
Sarah. ما عم نسمعك يا سارة. I can't hear you. Yes, you're unmuted. Okay, if you have again something about the booklet is ready. You can get it from the school. You will not be marked about the booklet. ما عليها علامات ولا شيء. It's just refreshment as you like about practicing on it. So that's everything for today, guys. Thank you so much for attending. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Bye-bye.